What's up, guys? It's Branden Flash. Today we're in my 2022 Rivian R1T, and we're headed out from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're headed all the way up to Asheville. That's about 130 miles or so, and I think it's about a 3,000 foot elevation gain, something like that. But let me show you the route, what we're doing, and why we're going there. So here's our route. We started out in Charlotte around here-ish. I did reset my trip when I left my apartment. So 8.3 miles driven so far. I had it in all-purpose mode until we got onto the interstate or highway here. Now we're in conserve mode. So just running in standard suspension height, but with conserve, so it's in front-wheel drive mode. Pretty good efficiency so far. It's projecting we'll arrive with 120 miles of remaining range. So that's looking pretty good for being able to get there and back. There is an EVgo in the parking lot of the place we're going, but trying to avoid using that if I can. It's only a 50 kilowatt, not ideal. But I think it's gonna be tight on the way back, but there's a new Circle K in Gastonia with 180 kilowatt DC fast chargers. So that's gonna be a good option to stop on the way back and then not roll in back to Charlotte completely dead. And the reason that we're going to Asheville is that we're actually going to a Drive Electric Earth Day week event. I think that's the proper title, something like that, or Drive Electric Asheville, something. But I usually try to go to 1 to 3-ish events like this per year, just kind of general EV shows. I usually try to go to the ones that are not just an EV show, because those tend to be just a bunch of EV fans that are all together, and I mean, you're not really accomplishing much necessarily. You'll get some people that are not as familiar with EVs and just come out to actually see them, but for the most part, you're just talking to people that are already sold on EVs, which is not the most beneficial thing. So I usually try to go to the ones that are at like a farmer's market or like, I don't know, monthly town gathering type thing. You know what I mean? Something that it's an additional feature to something else that's going on, so that it's more the general public that's out attending it, and you can actually talk to people that may not be as familiar with EVs already, and can ask genuine questions and talk to owners. So I actually went to one of those yesterday in Davidson, North Carolina. That was the Earth Day Festival in Davidson. It was also with like a local, I think, monthly art show, something like that. But that was pretty beneficial. I brought my Rivian. There were some Teslas, Leaf, a few others. Rivian got a ton of attention, lots of people interested in it, asking questions. Kids love it. But this one is just an EV show, I believe, but it's at a mall. It's at Asheville Outlets. So we're heading up there. We'll see how it goes. I don't think I'm gonna be able to stick around for the whole thing because I wanna be back at a reasonable time. It's a Sunday. I work tomorrow and it's from 12 to 4, but it's also a little over 2-hour drive each way. So we're headed up there and I'll see you there. I did also want to mention that we're at 19,800 miles. So there you can see lifetime efficiency so far. I didn't ever reset that actually, just how it was when I got the truck. We're doing 112 miles there, about 120-ish on the way back. So we're gonna cross over 20,000 miles on this drive today. Well, we're almost here. We've gotten it down to 31%. We again started at 87%, so we used 56% of the battery. We're now at 2,200 feet. Sorry, the radar detector's hard to read, but we've gone up roughly 1,500 feet or so, and we've driven 124 miles since leaving my apartment at 1.74 miles per kilowatt hour. And as you can tell by the average speed, I was ripping it fairly hard. There was pretty minimal traffic. But there's the Asheville outlets, so we'll be pulling in here, and I'm not really sure where at the outlets it is, so we'll see. I'm also curious, so once I punch this in here, let's just see what it says to go to the Circle K in Gastonia. See if it thinks we'll make it or not. So it wants me to go up to Electrify America and charge. Let's remove charging stop, see what happens. Go anyway. So 100 miles estimated range, 96 miles. Probably not going to go all the way up to the Electrify America. Assuming that the EVgo here works-ish, I'm probably going to use that very briefly, add like, I don't know, 10%, 15%, something like that, and then continue on. So let's go on a quick tour here. So we've got some Chevy Spark EVs, Gen 2 Volt, and if you'll notice, it has adaptive cruise control, kind of a option that most people don't realize. C-Max Energy plug-in hybrid, Chevy Bolt, of course, with a rack, Gen 1 Volt, i3. Let's see if it's a range extender or not. And you can tell because it will have another flap in the front here. And this is actually a just electric because it doesn't have the second flap there for the fuel tank. Got smart electric, iMeave, again those sparks. We have an Ioniq 5, my Rivian R1T straight ahead of us there. We've got a Mach-E with badges removed, so not sure what trim it is, but looks like premium, I believe. Over here we've got some golf carts, one being towed by a Bolt, which is actually pretty cool. We have a e-Transit with actually some handicap accessibility things converted to it. So this is a passenger version and also has a lift. So you've got the ramp here in the back. So that's pretty cool to see. Let's see. So you've got all the seats with the rails and everything. Very cool. Some tents. I believe this is a coffee shop on wheels. Or Dynamite Roasting, maybe just delivery, something like that. Another e-Transit. Got Volkswagen ID4. A brand new Leaf, an SV Plus. So you can tell it's a 2023 because of the wheels that it has on it. Those wheels are only on the 2023s. X5 plug-in hybrid. Got a XC40 Recharge. So these are actually kind of a sleeper. About 400 horsepower. These things rock. Not the greatest value, but they're awesome. Prius Prime, Clarity plug-in hybrid, another Prius Prime. There's that X5. We've got the row of Teslas, which are looking a bit neglected this event, but it's actually kind of good to see that there's not an overwhelming amount of Teslas and actually a ton more variety than you typically see at these events. I've personally been going to these events for probably 4 or 5 years, something like that. And it's been awesome to see the shift from almost entirely Teslas to a good variety. We have a Jaguar I-Pace with, as some people like to joke, the Russian spec wheels. These base ones rather than the bigger ones. But the red with this light interior actually looks pretty darn nice. I like that. Front of those Priuses, or Prii as some will call them. Mach-E extended range. Love the silver on the Mach-E. More Ioniq 5s. Talk to those owners. And we've got Lightning over here. Just go over here. Talk to those. Clever plate on the Rivian. So nice black Lightning. This is, let's see what trim it is. I think probably a Lariat or Platinum potentially. Nice bed carpet of sorts. Wish I had the Pro Power on board with my Rivian. So this is actually a Lariat and looking really good. Showing it off. The white Rivian. Let's go over here. We've got some EV6s. We got a Polestar 2. We'll get to these Mercedes here in a moment. So we've got 3 different EV6. Got the darker gray, terrible with color names. We've got a red and we've got the black here. And of course, Polestar 2 looks like someone brought that out. Yeah, hello. How's it going?
I'm doing good, and you?
Doing well.
It's been good.
Yeah, just giving a tour here of all the different cars.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm here for a little bit. I
Yeah.
decided to come in, since Charlotte doesn't have one till like September, so I decided, it's like, hey, you know what?
Yeah, that's like me. I drove up the 2 hours, like, whatever. I don't need an excuse for a road trip.
Yeah, I don't have no problem with that. I mean, my car has been everywhere, so
Yeah. How many miles do you have on your EV6?
25,000 with some change
Okay, and how long have you had it?
last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw you at the Charlotte event.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
think I seen kind of seen it on Twitter or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, I saw
Sorry,
it.
I meet a lot of people, so.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure. It's like,
Yeah.
I know him. So
Yeah.
a week later, I see his channel popped up. I was like, oh yeah,
It's that guy.
that's the guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I decided, you know, it's me on
Yeah.
car. I mean, I love the car.
Yeah. What trim is your EV6?
Wind all-wheel drive.
Okay.
So
And what made you decide to go with the EV6 over all the different options?
the range, charging speed, V2L.
Okay. Do you use that fairly frequently?
I only use it during the event like this.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes I try to use whenever there's power outage. I just,
Sure.
you know,
Do you think you use the interior outlet more than like the exterior dongle of sorts?
I use the interior, yes.
Okay.
And also the towing capability of the car.
Mhm.
Can tow up to 2300
Okay.
pounds. I'll tow with it.
Nice.
Just like
Yeah.
a regular gas car, you lose half of the range.
But that's to be expected. Unless you're towing actually long distance, which most people don't, it really doesn't matter.
That's one thing I need to do. The last time I towed was just around Charlotte,
Mhm.
all the way down to South Charlotte. You know, I just want to see how it works.
Yeah, just test it out.
But I haven't. But I still need to do another range test on that.
Mhm.
But right now, I haven't done that since last year.
Okay.
So, but I usually tow in my gas car, so I'm familiar. I mean, I mean, the car checks all the information. I mean, all the needs that someone will need:
Mhm.
long distance and charging speed.
Was this your first electric car?
Yes, this is my first one.
Okay.
So, I've been everywhere. A lot of people that drove the car too, they drove in a long distance. That's how it was easy to get the high mileage on the car.
Yeah.
People drove a lot of places around.
And what's your charging experience been like on the road?
Lately, during the winter time, I've had it was kind of bad with Electrify America.
Okay.
So I think the top charging speed is about maybe 131, 145 or so.
Okay. Did you get the preconditioning update? I can't recall if that came out for the EV6. I know it's on for the Ioniq 5.
That's a problem with Kia right now. And that's one thing. I don't want to get mad at Kia, but I understand they're not a technology company.
Yeah.
So, like last week, I saw another YouTuber that showed information about the navigation route planner.
Mhm.
So I did the same thing. I was able to find a hidden navigation route planner in there. It worked, but once I turn it off, it goes away. It went back and reset. So,
Okay.
And that's another problem with Kia. Like you have to take it to the dealer, even though the OTA, the car is capable of OTA, but they're not doing anything about that.
It's unfortunate.
So right now, when I went to the dealer about last week, was 2 weeks ago, I called them. It's like, well, your car doesn't have it yet. And it's like, okay, it's not a recall, but
Yeah, it's a service action or something, or whatever they call it.
It's a TSB. It's like
Yeah.
technical service bulletins. Like, you guys need to look into a different part of your system.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's like, I said, well, it's not there. It's like, but, oh, well, we have one, though. And that's for the iPedal and automatic parking brakes. Like, okay. I just come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't get mad at them. It's like, I ain't cursing about it.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
That's not their fault. It's Kia's fault.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to release the software update, universal software update. Actually, it's supposed to be, OTA.
Yeah.
But
It's a great car, let down by mediocre software, I'd say,
yeah.
to an extent.
Yeah.
At least for like the average person that wants like to be able to use the car without having to think about it too much.
Well, yeah. Because I mean, for someone like me, I'm okay. I can
Yeah.
do tech stuff a little bit on the car.
But you throw just
try to-
Joe Schmo off the street and
Yeah.
try to tell them to do a road trip, they're going to struggle.
They're gonna struggle. Actually, I have people that drove the car.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they didn't have any issue charging, like finding charging. They were able to find charging. Just some few issues that happened, like the 12-volt battery and stuff.
Sure.
Someone had an issue with that, and I had to call roadside assistant just to jumpstart it.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody that drove this car on a road trip, they never had any issue charging or finding a charging station.
I'm impressed.
They usually use like for America.
Okay.
And I usually have also have level 1 charger and level 2 charger. Well, usually provide level 1 charger, but I take the level 2 charger with me.
Yeah.
Just in case I might need
it. Opportunity charging.
Hey, who knows? Anything can happen.
Yeah.
At least I can charge. I haven't got to that point yet. The first time when I got this car, the first time I took it on a road trip, I took it to Huntsville, Alabama. There was no Electrify America there.
Yeah.
So somehow my Android Auto somehow crashed or so.
Yeah.
The map froze, and I didn't know I missed my exit. So I couldn't get back. So I decided to drive all the way to the next town that has Electrify America. So then I have to drive back 30 minutes back to my destination. So ever since then, I decided to get extra stuff. Like, listen, if I'm gonna get stuck, I need to have something somewhere.
Better to be a little over prepared than not enough prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the car.
Excellent. Where can people find you?
Kilowatt Hour on EV channel. KWHONLYEV.
Okay. Perfect.
My YouTube channel.
Awesome. Thanks for chatting with me.
You,
nice to meet you as well.
Have a good day.
We have Polestar 2 in nice white. And I don't think I've seen this interior before in person, but this looks pretty fantastic. Really, actually a big fan of this. If I was to get a Polestar 2 today, I'd probably get this interior. I think this is the Napa leather. So this one you can actually book for a test drive. And I really like the new wheels that they offer on the 2023s. Over here we have the Mercedes EQS, and wrapped in Do You Dream in Electric? And I'd say I think I do. I actually kind of like this wrap. It looks pretty good. This is a EQS 450 4MATIC with the tan interior, brought out by a dealership without the hyperscreen. I actually think it looks a lot better without the hyperscreen rather than with the hyperscreen. Also a big fan that it's a hatchback, very practical, but man, having a tan carpet in a trunk seems like a really, really bad idea. I would destroy that. Here we have, I believe this is an XC60. I'm not super familiar with XC60. This is the Recharge, but this is the plug-in hybrid. So this is not fully electric, but this is actually a used car. So a little interesting that they brought that out. We have a Mercedes EQB, so fully electric, pretty mediocre range, pretty mediocre charging, but overall pretty decent looking, I'd say. Mini Cooper SE. If you're watching this channel, you're probably pretty familiar with that car. This is actually a car that gets autocross. So it looks like they run at G Street, and they've got some Potenza RE71 RSs on it. So pretty awesome to see that. Some awards on top. And British Racing Green. Can't go wrong with that. Another Chevy Volt Gen 1. This, I believe, is an EQE. Yeah, EQE SUV. Also without hyperscreen, which I think is really nice. I think the EQE and EQS SUVs work better than the sedan, but that's just my own opinion. We have a Subaru Solterra. Same as the Toyota BZ4X. Again, mediocre range, mediocre charging, but I'm sure they'll sell like crazy because it has a Subaru badge on it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of these, and I hear there's some screaming lease deals on all the EQ Mercedes, so definitely if you're in the market, take a look at that. Here we have a Volvo C40. Looks like this is a certified pre-owned, which is kind of interesting. Another plug-in hybrid. We got another C40 and another C40. This one is in the Fjord Blue, I believe is the name of this color, and with the very nice kind of wool interior Really nice looking spec. We've got a Grand Cherokee 4xe, kind of a newer model. And we also have a Wrangler 4xe. Tesla Model S, of course. Always. Yeah, always going to have Model S's. Pretty similar spec to my old one. We've got, this is an 85 2014. It's got the gray interior, but different gray than what I had because I had the next gens. But midnight silver, this might actually be dolphin gray exterior potentially. 2023 all-wheel drive Pro S ID4, and this is the new tourmaline blue. You can tell that's 2023 by the color. Silver Model 3, one of my favorites. They're doing a raffle here, so apologies for that noise. Look at that, Model 3 performance on Martian wheels. Another F-150 Lariat, looking really good. They've got the crossbars on there, aftermarket wheels. Of course, the Mega Power frunk. This gentleman also has an E-Transit too, and another Rivian R1T. It's crossbars. This is a L-cap granite with the Black Mountain interior and the 20-inch all-terrain similar to what I have. And of course, another personalized plate with a bike rack back there.
We're able to give away this beautiful e-bike valued at over $3,000. You also entered last year and didn't quite win it, so second time was a charm. Thank you to everybody who entered. Thank you to everybody who came and joined us. And enjoy your time here at the rest of the EV Drive Electric event. Thank you.
Here we have a Cadillac Lyric. They actually exist in the wild, and it has a temporary tag on it, so it's a customer-owned car. Well, I had a great time at the Asheville Drive Electric. We're now at the EVgo, which is on the other side of the Asheville outlets where the event was. I am at, let's see, I left the vehicle on show and tell mode, which was maybe not my best move, so we're at 29% state of charge. So I do need to charge a bit to get home, or at least to make it all the way to Gastonia. So we've got an old, not BTC, yeah, these are BTC, sorry. Now I'm doubting myself. BTC 50 kilowatt. These are old school. This one's named Cheyenne. So we're gonna plug in here, see if it works. I've heard it does work from a Mach-E that used it. See, I'm gonna activate it here on the app. Give me 1 second and we'll see if it works. Well, miraculously quick initiation here. So activated it via the app. It's 41 cents a kilowatt hour at this current time of day because EVgo uses time of day rates. Here we can hear the fans running. This is a 480 volt input unit, up to 500 volt output. Let's see, we are charging. I've got the green light. Let's see what kind of speeds we're getting. We're probably getting pretty close to the full 50 kilowatt, or at least it should be, because the Rivian has fairly high pack voltage. And here we can see the pack voltage of 396 volts. And we're getting about 45 kilowatt because we're getting actually higher than rated current, which I'm not complaining about, 110. So I'm gonna let this charge up probably to, I don't know, 45% should be probably fine. Need to find a restroom, might try and grab a snack or something here at the outlets. But glad this is here and working, so I don't have to go to Electrify America, pretty far out of my way. Unfortunately, that unit is down, according to PlugShare. Not sure if that charge point's working or not, but here we are. It's a beautiful day. It's 65 degrees out, but the sun is out and it's pretty toasty out. I did just want to point out this unit is from January of 2015, so pretty amazing that it's still working. And let's just check out the status of these other two quick while we're here. So we've got installation not complete. That's fun. Wow, so it looks like it's apparently not commissioned seeming. That's great. And this one is under maintenance. So it's set unavailable from the server. So that's just great. But here we have my Rivian charging. Looking good. So we just wrapped up the Drive Electric Asheville event over there-ish. My Rivian's charging over at the EVgo, decent bit away from here, but I wanted to show you guys the Tesla Supercharger install. I haven't been here in a while, but we've got 8 version 2 150 kilowatt here. And then since the last time I was here with the Tesla, which was quite a while ago, they actually added 1 cabinet worth of version 3 as well. So this is a pretty interesting setup that they've got going on here. So they have their cabinets and switchgear and everything in the screened in fence there, but they added this additional switchgear here for the single version 3 cabinet. So Supercharger 5. Here you can see the disconnect cabinet. Not 100% sure what this is for, because that's going to be pretty low rating, maybe just auxiliary. And then let's see what size transformer we have here. So we've got a 1000 kVA transformer, so pretty decently sized. And we actually must have 2. Oh, so we've got 1 of the version 2s over here. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the version 3s. So pretty interesting setup. And then we'll walk back over to the EVgo. I'll show you that, but obviously this is great. It's 250 kilowatt on these 4, 150 kilowatt over there, but a little bit interesting that they just added additional capacity here rather than a completely separate install. But just wanted to show this to compare to the EVgo setup that I'm charging on right now with my Rivian. It's only 50 kilowatts. So, well, here we are on the other side of the mall. I will say that this is a better side of the mall to be accessing the mall, I guess, or outlet mall, whatever. But here we have the sign for the Drive Electric Week event. That is clearly a very old sign with the Nissan Leaf being referenced. And here we have the EVgo 50 kilowatt units, and we have a dual head charge point unit. So let's just check out the status here. So here we have Frida, and Frida is broken. It's under maintenance, set unavailable from server, just doesn't work. Here we have the dual head charge point, and it's just not commissioned apparently. Maybe that was a result of the 2G networks going offline, or 3G, whatever networks going offline. Who really knows, but as far as drivers are concerned, it doesn't work. And here we have my Rivian charging on this unit. This is named Cheyenne. This unit has definitely seen better days. There's quite a bit of rust on it, but if it works, I don't really care. And here we are, we're getting 45 kilowatt, and we've been charging for 23 minutes. I wandered around a little bit, added 17 kilowatt hour. This unit is from January of 2015, so definitely not the newest unit, but it's working. Activated it via the app, plugged in very quickly. There we've got an e-transit, so I'm probably gonna move here because they probably actually need a charge. And there we're at 41%, so just need a little bit more to make it all the way back to Charlotte. Actually, we're probably good at this point, but 410 volts on the pack, and we're getting about 110 amps of current, which is better than the 100 amps that the unit is rated for. So just wanted to give this pretty stark example of how different the charging infrastructure is between non-Tesla and the Tesla installation. All right, just stopped charging here. We added 18.8 kilowatt hour in 25 minutes. Not bad. Wandered around the outlets for a moment. Walked over to the Tesla Superchargers as well. So I'll probably include that clip here. But they have, I think it was 16 stalls, something like that. There we have an e-transit they need to charge as well. So I'm clearing out. They are also going back to Charlotte. I probably could have made this on a single charge if I had actually started with 100%, but I didn't. So let's get on the road here, get out of the way for this e-transit, and then I'll show you guys what my tentative route is. But we're at 42%, as you can see there. All right, so let's just punch in here. So we're headed to the Circle K in Gastonia, because I'll get a car wash, charge up there. We'll remove charging stops. Glad I'm not having to detour to Electrify America up there. It'll figure its life out here, but let's switch it into conserve mode. Run it on standard still. Should figure its life out, but we've got 131 miles, and that's going up slightly, 132. We have 97 miles to go. We're currently at, let's see, we should be at about 2,200 feet elevation, and we're gonna go down to about 700 feet of elevation. So yeah, you can't really see that, but it says 29 elevation, and now it's showing that we'll arrive with 30 miles. So we've got enough of a buffer to be totally fine. Rolling up to the Circle K here, probably gonna get a car wash first because the bugs are splattered all over the front end of my truck, and I just washed my truck yesterday, so I prefer to have it clean again. There you can see the Circle K, you can see the chargers there. Car wash here, and here we've got my truck. So yeah, pretty splattered in bugs. This is the bug off formula that I've showed before. So it just helps dissolve the bugs. It's got some active enzymes in it that kind of break down the proteins of the lovely bug guts. Just give it a nice little coating. And probably need to refill the bottle. And back in the gear tunnel that goes. We'll throw it in car wash mode, activate the car wash with the Circle K car wash app, and get it nice and clean. Quick update here on efficiency. We just washed the truck. We're at 221 miles, 1.86 miles per kilowatt hour, which is pretty darn good, especially considering the speeds I was going. Just activated the charger, or at least it should be activated. Let's see. Might have to just do it after I plug in. And these are 180 kilowatt, 400 amp chargers, as you can see here. So let me just activate via my phone here. Well, I'm just an idiot. I was activating the wrong charger, but here we go. We're preparing. It'll start charging here in just a moment. And we're at, let's see, 7% state of charge. Just like that. 21 miles estimated. Pretty solid. There we go. So showing red on the status bar there. And we should get, it'll probably rise to about 400 volts once we're charging. And then, so there we go, we've got power flowing. We'll probably get about 160 kilowatts, maybe high 150, something like that. It's ramping up. Yeah, 152, not bad. We're getting full 400 amps there. 383 pack voltage, so that should go up a bit as the state of charge rises. You can see the interface here, so 152 kilowatt. And I'm gonna finish drying off my truck because don't want water spots, but look how shiny it is. Reapplied a ceramic coating to it yesterday when I was actually charging here yesterday as well, but that was not a video. And let's just see how the bugs came off too. Looks like they all came off pretty nicely, so just gonna dry it off, give it a nice little quick detail. Well, charged up to 70%, was talking to a Lightning owner. I definitely forgot to record video, but maybe I'll put some photos in. And we added about 86 kilowatt hours, so definitely not bad there. Just under 40 minutes, but truck is all nice and cleaned off, wiped down, dried, and looking pretty spectacular. Really actually starting to grow fond of how these running boards look, but I did also notice a very small dent on my truck. Let's see if we can capture it right there. Really not sure how that happened, because it would have almost had to have happened from the tailgate coming down, because if something was coming at it, it wouldn't be on that top panel, so it's kind of strange. But otherwise, everything's looking really good. But yeah, these running boards, I'm starting to dig them actually. So glad I installed those. Might actually have to reinstall the underbody plastics, and front is nice and clean with no bugs. But quick tour of the site. So we have two 180 kilowatt ABB Terra 184 DC fast chargers. Both are dual CCS, so no CHAdeMO here at all. And they can do 400 amps on any of the cables, but if two cars are charging on the same unit at once, they can do up to 300 amps per channel, but up to 90 kilowatts. Also some future proofing for future stalls. And here we have it. So 500 kVA utility transformer, got the gas signs there, and pretty decent Circle K here with the touchless car wash, so really can't complain about that. And ground markings right off 85, so literally this is the interchange for 85 right here, and kind of off to the side of the parking lot with loud bikes. So might run in, grab a snack quick, use the restroom, and then we'll get back on the road home. And Rivian still seems to do this weird thing where even when you charge to 70%, it actually then realizes that it's at 72%. So weird little bug that still exists somehow. So I don't know why that's the case, but a little bit of a weird interchange to get out of here, but we'll get out of here. I think I'm gonna run to Target, so I might just leave you there, and then we'll go home. So that's today's road trip. Well, I ended up coming to one of my favorite places, South End, Charlotte. Gonna go for a walk on the rail trail before the sun sets, because it's about 7:30, sunsets at just after 8, and I figure I can go to Target after that. So let me show you the efficiency, what we're at for state of charge, and then I'll leave you guys there. So we're at 62% state of charge. Here's our efficiency, here's where we are. So just South End, Charlotte. This is the Atherton Mill. If you're not familiar with Charlotte, Charlotte is a pretty lovely place. I'd highly recommend visiting. I like it quite a bit. We've crossed 20,000 miles, and I was a dum-dum and didn't get a photo, but there's my lifetime efficiency. And here's our efficiency for today. So just over 250 miles. We've got probably 7-8 miles to get home, so a little bit over that. And then 1.89 miles per kilowatt hour. So really not bad at all. I was driving pretty quickly, so I'd say that efficiency is actually pretty solid with that given. And I think this does prove that the running boards don't really seem to have much impact on range. Obviously this isn't a scientific test, but I think it shows that it's not significant anyway. But anyway, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys for watching.